When we talk about bilingualism, we talk about a complicated phenomenon that has always aroused a lively debate. Today, it is estimated that half the world population is bilingual or even multilingual. According to that, we can state that bilingualism constitutes the norm. In fact, many people live in situations where the systematic use of two or more languages is the rule. Basically, the term bilingual refers to a person who is able to speak and talk in two languages, that owns two languages. Over the past period of time, many authors have expressed their opinion on bilingualism by giving different definitions. The linguist Leonard Bloomfield defines bilingualism as the mastery of a language as a native speaker. For the linguist Hannah Oder, bilingualism is the ability to produce in another language statement correct that bears of meaning. And last but not least, the definition of the writer Ariel Wainwright. I will call here bilingualism the practice of alternating between different languages. The person who behaves in this way will be called bilingual. More we advance in research of this phenomenon, more we realize how many types of bilingualism definitions exist. According to the age of acquisition of a language, we can distinguish the early and late bilingualism. In the early bilingualism, the acquisition of the second language occurs at a very early age, from 0 to 3 years old. Instead, in the late bilingualism, the systematic learning of the second language occurs at school. Age is a key parameter for learning a language. Scholars suggest that learning must occur at an early age, the only way that could ensure the perfect balance between the languages. Recent studies have shown that brains of bilingual could have a greater amount of gray matter, particularly in the area that control executive functions, cognitive skills such as problem solving or modulation of attention. The acquisition can occur in two ways, simultaneously and consecutive. In the first case, the acquisition of the first language and second language take place simultaneously, while in the second case, the second language acquisition occurs after the 3 years of age. Still, bilingualism can be divided into bilingualism compound and coordinated bilingualism, according to the way the two languages coexist within the same individual. We talk about compound bilingualism when the second language is learned through the mediation of the first language or mother tongue. For coordinated bilingualism, we intend when the subject is able to use, with spontaneity, the second language in everyday and social life. Continuing in the study of bilingualism, we cannot mention the different advantages and disadvantages that characterize this phenomenon. Benefits can be classified into three categories: communicative, cultural, and cognitive. Concerning cultural advantages, bilingualism leads to a greater sharing of cultural diversity, a greater tolerance to the others, to get into a new and peaceful model of integration, and to have a greater chance in the future to find new jobs and deal with other models and other cultures. Bilingualism in children has been slow to have very large effects on brain development, which go well behind the learning of one or more languages. The research has finally dispelled the myth that being in touch with two or more languages at birth could cause confusion or cognitive delay, stating that bilingualism can only be a positive source. In accordance with the modern psycholinguistics, bilingualism contributes decisively to the enrichment of the linguistic background of their own language. This allows to develop an excellent linguistic sensitivity and could meet different linguistic needs. Bilingualism is still surrounded by misinformation and prejudice. The major concern is that the two languages may interfere with each other and that a child can present some communication disorders in one or another language, or both. Both monolingual and bilingual children have in fact a natural predisposition to the acquisition of language, also without a specific background or education. Dispel also this myth. There are no useless languages. Both widespread and minority languages are useful. It is not so important what language we learn, the very fact of knowing two or more languages is an incredible advantage, regardless of which they are. A more personal context of this survey is represented by my experience, as I grew up in a family of Portuguese mother and Italian father. I would like to tell my bilingual experience, although tardive, has enriched my personality, making me a more complete person. I found that bilingualism, by dispelling all the myths and surround it, is a very important asset for everyone. Being bilingual, it allowed me in fact to have many advantages on a personal, cognitive and relational level. Although I have not acquired a second language as a child, I feel free to say I'm fully bilingual. I would like to tell everyone that it is never too late to learn languages, and it is thanks to them that our limits can be overcome and that our vision of the world changes. Do not let prejudice get the better, and do not let fear of failure get in the way of your dreams. Let me conclude with a phrase that I think best sums up my thoughts. Every language tells the world its way. Each builds words and anti-words in its own way. The multilingual human being is a free man. Rudolf Steiner.